Hello and welcome to a presentation on how to find a, um, a journal article using the library's databases. Now, as you can see first off here, and by the way, since I'm at home, I'm going to show you how to do this from home. It's a little bit easier to do it if you're at school, but I also know that probably most of you are going to be doing what research you can at home, and so I want to show you how to do that. Um, okay, this is our home page here, and you'll notice that the button for the library is up here on the gold bar at the top. So if you click on library, you're taken to the library page. Now, the library catalog, that locates books that are in the library itself. That is not something that you want to use at this time. You will use that later when it comes time to looking for a book. So what you're looking for is online access for students, faculty, and staff. And this gives you, it says right here, databases of full text articles and ebooks. I don't want you using any ebooks or indexes or videos. What I'm looking for, what we're looking for here, are full text articles, okay? So you click on that, and then over here to the left, you see that you have several choices of what you want to search, but what you want access to are databases and indexes. Okay, so then you come over here, and these are a list of all of the databases that we have and a brief description of what's in them. Now, there are a number of good resources here, but what I want you to use is Academic Search Complete. And it's very easy to know that because it is at the very top. Okay. Don't stay away from Gale. That's a problem. Okay. And the problem is that it doesn't give you access to the formatting that you need in order to produce the correct copies of your source, which of course you know you have to turn in at the end of the semester or when you turn in your paper. EBSCO is a little better. Juster is good, but it is, notice, it's kind of, it's more of an intense database. The articles that show up there might be, I don't want to say a little above your head, but they might be a little above your head. I think that the one that is going to provide you with the most help is going to be Academic Search Complete. So that's what I've clicked on here. And now you have, of course, your own LSUE user ID, and you have your own password. And so what you'll want to do is you want to type in your username. I'm going to do that for me. And then the password. And then click Login. And there you go. You now have access to thousands and thousands of articles. Now, not all are going to be available, mind you, to you, because you are looking for technically you're looking for full text, because that's going to serve you the best. If you don't look up full text, then you're going to find that there's not a lot of sources out there, and the ones that are, the articles that are, you're going to have to go physically to the library, pull off the shelf, and make copies of, or you're going to have to go to microfilm or the microfiche. So what you really want to do here is to make sure that this is right here is clicked, that you want full text. Also, you want to make sure you click here. You want scholarly journals. You don't want journalism. You don't want newspapers. You don't want any of that. You want periodical, scholarly, peer-reviewed journals. Full text. The dates are irrelevant. The number of pages are irrelevant. Now, one more thing. See, this is where you're going to do your search here. So let's say, for example, that we're looking for articles on Soldiers Home. Okay. There are two things that you're going to want to put into this box right here. You're going to want to type in the article, and you're going, or not the article, the short story that you're researching, and you will need to put it in quotations. And I'll show you what happens in a moment if you don't. In addition, you need to know who's written it. Hemingway will suffice, because there aren't a lot of Hemingways that wrote a story called Soldier's Home. Now, another thing. What you want is not the Boolean search phrase. You want to find all of the search terms, and you have two. These two words together, because you put them in quotation marks, counts as a single term. Because this is not in quotation marks, it also counts as a single term. So you're looking for all the terms. You're not interested in an article that has something that has the words Soldier's Home in it, but not Hemingway. And you're not interested in an article that has Hemingway, but not Soldier's Home. You want them both. Now, you're ready to search. And there we go. We have 18 sources. Okay? All of them come from academic journals, which you can see here. And if you were to click here, you would get something very important for you. This provides you with all of the publication information that you are going to have to include for an entry on this particular source if you use it in your paper. In other words, if you choose Dr. Cohen's, and I call him Dr. Cohen because I've taken classes with him. He was one of my professors at University of Texas at Dallas. If you are going to choose to use this article, then you are going to need to provide in a certain organized fashion, which will be covered in a later presentation, his name, the title of the journal it came from, the year. The month is, or the season is not that important, but the year is important. The volume and issue number, the number, the pages, not the number of pages, but from page what to page what. And there's a couple of other pieces of information that you will need to also include. But you're going to need to turn this in when you turn in your source. Okay, and you're not going to have all of this information on the article itself, so you need them both. This is also important too, because I want you to see something here. This is called an abstract. What an abstract is essentially a summary of what's in the article. So the easiest way to do some basic research to save yourself a lot of time is you go, make sure that you've done the search correctly, make sure that the article that you're looking at is on the short story and the author that you are writing on, and then finally read the abstract, okay, and see if it's helpful. Now, abstracts, especially for well, and it varies from database to database. This abstract is not particularly helpful. There are actually some good things in here, but I also want you to notice the vagueness and ambiguity in Hemingway's Soldier's Home. Two puzzling passages should signal something to you. He's not talking about, let's say, historical interpretations of, well, I shouldn't say he's excluding them, but he's not looking to see, for example, let me give you another example here. If I were to go back here, Ernest Hemingway's Soldier's Home and American Veterans of World War II. Well, that title right there tells you that it's going to be talking about how this short story here about a returning veteran from World War II in some way corresponds to the actual experience of American veterans from World War II. So that might prove to be helpful depending on what you're trying to write about. Another one down here. using temperament theory to understand conflict in Hemingway's Soldier's Home. Well, look, temperament, interpersonal conflict. Okay, so we know that we're dealing with something psychological. So this is probably going to be a helpful article. Now, performative patterns in Hemingway's Soldier's Home, unless you are familiar with linguisto-stylistics or postmodernism or literary discourse analysis, which I don't think any of you are, then I would suggest that perhaps you stay away from this article. So you see, there are all these little clues here. So let me click on here again. All right, you're going to need to print this up. If you decide that you want to use this, then I need a copy of this as well. Now then, how do you access the full text article itself? Now, here you only have one option. That is PDF. Here, you only have one option. It's PDF. But right here, you have two options, PDF and HTML. Never, never use HTML. And I'll explain what I mean. We'll go back up here to the top. We'll click on this PDF full text. This is what you're going to see here. It looks exactly like it does in the article. Notice it has the page numbers at the top, which is essential for citation. Here, of course, the page number is not there, but you know what the page number is. It's 158 because it's the page that comes before 159. This is what you want. PDF. Okay? Now, let me show you. By the way, another thing that's good about PDF, notice your options here. You can print it. You can file. You can save it. So if you come across all of these articles, you're spending, let's say, an hour trying to find articles, and you don't have time to read the articles, you just want to get the articles. Well, spend a few hours simply, and don't print them up because it'll cost you money. Go ahead and simply create a little file in either your pen drive or your computer at home. Create a little file. I would title it, annotated essay, the title of the short story you're working on, whatever the case may be, and then save all of these files into that file. And then you can go back and look at it at your leisure. Now, here's what you do not want to do. Let me close this up here and go back down to here. HTML full text. And here's what you get when you click on that. That is unacceptable. There are no page numbers here. You will not be able to cite your work if you choose this. So, you will not have any citations for this article, meaning you won't be telling me when you're quoting from it what page number a particular quote came from. And you know what that's going to result in? It's going to result in an F, because that's one of the basic things that I'm trying to teach you. So remember, PDF. PDF. Okay, and that's as far as I'm going to go right now. As you can see, this is how you will find probably ample enough sources, at least certainly for your journal requirements. Okay. Now, if you have any questions about this, please ask me in class. Okay, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. I hope this proves to be helpful for you, and thank you for your patience.